We have some pretty weird and surprising information today for Treyarch's next Call of Duty game, Call of Duty 2024 Zombies, whatever the game ends up being called, whether it is Black Ops Gulf War or another name entirely, which is probably more than likely since I doubt they'll try and go for the same title theme 2 games in a row, but the game is going to be taking place in the 90s/early 2000s and will apparently delve into the Gulf War in the campaign. But in terms of the zombie side of things, literally the day of the Modern Warfare 3 Zombies reveal, there were some leaks regarding the launch maps of Call of Duty 2024 Zombies. Now, as you know, this is going to be the game where round-based is finally going to be back, and I hope that we see a true sequel to Outbreak as well. Since we're of course getting DMZ Zombies with Modern Warfare 3, it would be nice to see a proper Outbreak sequel where we can play indefinitely, and it's more similar to the original Outbreak, where you can just keep on doing objectives over and over and choose when you actually want to exfil. Anyways, lots of people missed out on this information because, like I said, it was the day of the Modern Warfare 3 Zombies gameplay reveal. It was the day of Call of Duty Next, and there was so much information about Modern Warfare 3. Most people missed this information. I literally posted a video about this right before Call of Duty Next, but I think most people missed it because they were just overwhelmed with the amount of content that all of the YouTubers were posting. So just for a quick recap, because Call of Duty is moving to a unified engine now, with the Call of Duty HQ being the launch application for the beta and all Call of Duties moving forward, there was a lot of stuff leaking out for Treyarch's next Call of Duty game, and there's been 2 maps found in the files of the game that we assume are round-based maps, one codenamed ZM_Quartz and one codenamed ZM_Garnet. Now, we probably can't take much out of these codenames because typically they just codename the maps with a bunch of different colors. In this case, I guess they are gemstones or crystals or whatever. But in the files of the game, for one of the maps, the Quartz map, it mentions a deck cannon trap, and for the Garnet map, there is references to a wonder weapon quest involving vermin and tentacle traps, some sort of kraken or something like that. So it seems like at least one of these maps, the launch maps, is going to be taking place on a boat, and this makes total sense because we know at the end of Forsaken there's a time jump to 1990, 5 years later, where Peck is heading somewhere in the Pacific Ocean to get a boat to quote-unquote collect some old friends. Most likely he's trying to retrieve the Requiem heads that were apprehended by Eddie Richtofen and or the strike team. So we don't know what exactly is out in the Pacific Ocean. This could be the spot where the inversion missiles landed that were diverted within the first Outbreak main quest by Ravenov and Samantha Maxis, or this could be the location of Black Site 13 where the Requiem heads and or the strike team may have been taken and contained, or the location could be something else entirely. But yeah, it seems like we're going to be getting a boat map. Of course, we've had Voyage of Despair before, so it might be somewhat reminiscent to that, but I think a boat location could be pretty good. It also has me thinking, what if it's actually the Vodianoi ship? We know that it disappeared in the 80s and then randomly teleported around 40 years later in 2021 and ended up on the shore of Verdansk, bringing zombies with it. So it might have hit a Dark Ether rift. Now, of course, COD 2024 Zombies is going to be taking place in the 90s, which is a bit later than that, but there could be a map set beforehand. So maybe it's the Vodianoi ship. Maybe we could see us actually playing on that ship, and that could explain how the ship actually ended up on Verdansk and teleported in time if it hit a Dark Ether rift, went into the Dark Ether for 40 years and somehow then came back out of a rift again. And in terms of the tentacle trap, I'm guessing this is probably going to be some sort of Kraken trap. Maybe there's even going to be a Kraken boss on the map if it's a boat map, similar to the one that we had on Extinction. And the Wonder Weapon quest regarding vermin, I don't know if we're going to get some sort of rat weapon or something like that, I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, that's all of the information we've had previously. Before I continue with the rest of the juicy information, I first have a very awesome message to share with you, and we'll be right back. This video has been kindly sponsored by CookTech. They've kindly sent me 3 of their ultra fast charging adapters. Each one comes in a nice little box, and inside is an instruction manual. These charge much faster than standard chargers, allowing you to have all of your devices ready to go in no time, as well as being able to charge multiple devices at once. As someone who lives in the UK, these are perfect if going abroad to use as an adapter, so I don't have to be carrying multiple for different devices, as I can charge them all from one. But even when not traveling abroad, they are great for home use, so you can charge fast and efficiently. The first model they sent me just has one USB Type-C port with 20 watts, so you can do multiple at once, but this one can still charge quickly. The second one they sent both has a standard USB Type-A port as well as a Type-C one with 30 watts. Finally, the third one I've been sent is the Jan charger with 3 ports, one standard USB one and 2 Type-C ports with 65 watts. They have many other products and adapters than just these on their website, so make sure you check out CookTech via the link in this video's description, and you can browse their site and see if there's any you would be interested in. Thank you for listening and for them sponsoring. However, today, there's been a full weapons list leaked for COD 2024. This is not just zombies, it's obviously the entirety of the game, and I'm not going to go over all of them in this video. Maybe I'll save it for a future video, but regardless of that fact, in the weapons list, there are actually 2 weapons for zombies, one being, of course, the ray gun, and then we have the jet gun. Yes, that's right, the jet gun, which was the wonder weapon on the infamous map TranZit in Black Ops 2. This weapon was very controversial because, of course, it could break if you overcharged it, and over time it would just break, and people didn't like then having to re-get all of the parts and blah blah blah. So I'm sure if they were to bring this weapon back, they would probably make changes to it, and it wouldn't be identical to the version we had previously. It might not even be a buildable this time. It would probably be a recreation from the Dark Ether, because obviously at the end of Tag the Towen, everything was sent into the Dark Ether, and maybe Dr. Peck or someone found schematics or something regarding the jet gun from the Dark Ether and tried to rebuild it. But why would the jet gun be returning? It's just so odd. And by the way, we definitely know these are for COD 2024 zombies and not Modern Warfare 3 zombies, because they are labeled as T10 in the files, which stands for Treyarch's 10th Call of Duty game. But yeah, I have no idea why the jet gun would return, and this has people thinking maybe TranZit could return. Of course, it was heavily rumored that we were supposed to get TranZit Die, Rise and Buried in Black Ops 4, since apparently there was originally supposed to be a second season of zombies content, and it made complete sense considering a lot of the maps, especially Buried and TranZit, had a lot of assets for them already in the game in Blackout and even in multiplayer, so it seemed obvious that they were working on it in a similar way to Revelations in Black Ops 3, where of course it made it easier for them to release Zombies Chronicles because they already were working on these remastered sections within Revelations, so they could essentially work on 2 pieces of content at once. And I think Blackout was a similar case with this cancelled quote-unquote Zombies Chronicles 2 that I think was probably planned for Black Ops 4 Zombies, and I do think that TranZit Diaries and Buried will return at some point, and considering the jet gun has made an appearance in the files for their next game, I really think TranZit could finally be coming back. And I don't know if this would be a round-based experience. Maybe they could even introduce it as an Outbreak experience, since it's such a large map. They could definitely have it in Outbreak, or maybe even they could have 2 versions. You could play it round-based, or you could play it on Outbreak and have the survival maps as well. I think it would be perfect in that sense. Now, of course, they would have to make a bunch of changes to the map to make it fit current-day Call of Duty zombies, to streamline the map and not make it as annoying as the original. But I think TranZit could be an amazing map now that the hardware and the engine has been upgraded a lot for Call of Duty. They're not held back by the old consoles like they were with the original TranZit, because TranZit was a very ambitious map and they didn't manage to fulfill its potential due to hardware limitations. But this time, with all these years later, with the technology improving, they could definitely make a much better version of TranZit. But yeah, why would the jet gun be showing up in the files though? But there's so far, I don't think been any reference of TranZit found in the files, unless it's one of these 2 codenames, the Quartz map or Garnet that I mentioned earlier. And TranZit could totally return, considering everything was sent into the Dark Ether. We could have a Dark Ether version of TranZit where, you know, maybe the map is all broken up and there's Dark Ether crystals everywhere. Something cool like that could definitely work. And Victors were also sent into the Dark Ether, but they're probably not still alive, or they've just mutated into a monster or something like that, most likely. But Samantha Maxis was sent into the Dark Ether at the end of Forsaken, so, you know, we could have a map, for example, where she's exploring TranZit in the Dark Ether. That could always be a possibility, but like I said, it probably wouldn't be a one-to-one recreation. It would be a broken up version of the map. Maybe they could even merge TranZit, Die, Rise and Buried together, all broken up and merged together in the Dark Ether. That would be a very cool experience. But yeah, so far, I don't think TranZit will be there on launch. I do think the TranZit will come eventually. Now, there were rumors, and there has been rumors, that Call of Duty 2025 will be yet another Black Ops game, potentially developed by another studio, such as Raven or something like that, heading the project, similar to how we've had Modern Warfare 2 and 3 back-to-back. Modern Warfare 2 by Infinity Ward, the main developer, then Modern Warfare 3 by Sledgehammer. Well, apparently something similar might be happening for COD 2024 and 2025, where we get 2 Black Ops games back-to-back, where the operators and weapons will transfer between the games, and that could be very likely. And there's rumors that all of the multiplayer maps at launch will contain all of the original Black Ops 2 maps remastered, similar to how Modern Warfare 3 has all of the original Modern Warfare 2 maps from 2009 remastered. And if they're getting a lot of remastered content in multiplayer, maybe the zombie side of things could get remastered maps as well, and that's when we could see TranZit. However, the jet gun's showing up in T10, so I don't really know about that. So there's lots of weird speculation we can make from this. Like I said, this is all very confusing news. I don't know why the jet gun would be back unless they bring it back on a map that's not even TranZit, but why? Why not just save it for an eventual TranZit remake, which I do definitely think they will do at some point. I know the zombies community has been speculating about Zombies Chronicles 2 for literally eons, forever, and it's become a meme and a joke at this point, but at the same time, you have to understand that it does seem likely that Treyarch will eventually eventually do it because it just makes sense. People have been begging for it for ages and it would make a bunch of money. Now, I don't know how they would do it because I don't think they would just do Transit Diaries and Buried. I think at this point, because, you know, Black Ops 3 was so long ago, they might as well just bring back a lot of those classic maps in the original Zombies Chronicles once again, especially with all of the new gameplay systems that were introduced in Cold War Zombies and whatever the gameplay systems are in COD 2024 Zombies as well. They could totally remaster a bunch of the World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and even Black Ops 3 maps, maybe even Black Ops 4. They could bring back a ton of content, not just the ones that weren't in the original Zombies Chronicles. But anyways, that's everything I wanted to say in this video. Let me know all of your thoughts and theories in the comment section down below. Do you think the jet gun will return on a map that's not Transit? Do you think it'll return on a Transit remake? If so, do you think it'll be in COD 2024 or 2025? Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching and bye.